Hello everyone, welcome to another episode here on Tamurkhan, episode 12. So, what are we gonna do? We do have a war to declare. We have a war to start, and that should be, we have currently a war with the Blessed Dread, but that was just because I wanted to please Cathay. And I don't think that's gonna work, but still, I have to try it. The main war that I want to go for is against Goldtooth. So we'll have to go with Tamurkhan against the Yeti Peaks here. And yeah, going against the ogres, it has to be. They already are unfriendly. They will turn on me if I am not careful. So yeah, they're also part of the objective, so might as well just deal with them now. This army is really powerful. My army, the one that I'm fielding, is really powerful. So it can take on several armies at once. Therefore, I'm just gonna auto this one in this case. Yeah, I was thinking on fighting it and stuff, but I kind of want to fight on a different set of battles. It really will depend on how battles are going and how effectively I'll do things. So, we get the final regiment of renown, the soul grinder, so that's cool. Let's repair some stuff and see if we can get maybe some defending places. Yeah, I think so. I gotta be careful with the income because right now I'm gonna need some more armies and it's gonna start becoming a problem. For now, I could actually get a lot of these, maybe rot flies, maybe some plague toads. I really need some form of armor piercing here. No, I have armor piercing, but I'm just wondering if I could have some monstrous infantry, maybe some flyers. That would be more helpful against the ogres, I believe. Even though the rot flies are not really that good. I still think having some flyers helps out a little bit. Even if it's just on one battle, that'll be enough for me. Okay, let's just get some extra infantry there, especially the demonic infantry, and let's just get the upgrades, start getting the upgrades for cavalry. That's mainly what I want to go for. After the upgrades for cavalry, I think I'll just go into a lot of campaign stuff over there. Now, Chieftain fealty, I can get Mournhall, and that's good because its fealty increases by fighting ogres, so that's perfect. He also gives stalks to a lot of stuff and better ambush chances, so I'm thinking for now I can put him on Crack Tongue, but his specific skills will be better suited for another lord, mainly because he does get abilities, passive abilities that affect armor or melee attack. So this melee attack comes in quite nicely. I like it. He also gives a frenzied attack, which is nice. So it's kind of sad you cannot have both, you know, or something like that. But that charge bonus, that melee attack affecting allies in range, it's always good. And then he has some specific skills, I didn't show them, but that goes towards Forsaken, some beasts and stuff. So he's going to go really well with the secondary army that I'm planning with Forsaken and Spawn armies, you know? Just to have some variety. I always like to have those kind of army ideas. Now, Tamar, he has precisely that idea of going into spawn units and into Forsaken, so I'm just going to recruit one more spawn here and try to keep the balance of power neat. It's very difficult because I don't have a lot of armies. I have a lot of my power concentrated on Tamurkhan. So I'm gonna need that. Yeah, here I'm showing this charge bonus, this melee attack for those skin wolves, for Forsaken, for Chaos Spawn of Nurgle. You know, that is gonna come in handy, and especially with the speed and vigor loss reduction, I can make an army out of that, you know, with Morgul. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's not Morgul, it's, I don't know the name in specific, but okay. Let's give some abilities here to Kaisk the Befouled, and Tamurkhan, he can get, what can he get? Oh, definitely, I need those for the Toad Dragons. What else here? Okay, everything is doing fine, so I guess let's move to the next turn. So we're getting a plague here on Zanbaijin, especially with the income from all buildings. Let's do that. It's always nice to have a little bit extra income, and of course spreading the plagues, it's always cool. I typically go for income or upkeep and then some other bonuses. Of course, I'm not focusing on the other bonuses, just one gives Vanguard to all units, which is perfect for Nurgle. But still, the main focus is always on the income and stuff. Let me just see something here. I can fight the battle, actually, for Kaisk. And that gives me quite some nice rewards. The enemies don't appear to be too troublesome, so might as well just attack, yeah. Especially with the army that I have now, it feels like I can do that. So, yeah. Let's go and fight this battle against the forces of Nurgle. My own forces. Yeah, that's funny. Let's go. So I'm going to show you here at this point, because I really want to show the start of the battle. Alright, just a small speech there, and we're gonna get ready. 1, 2, 3. I always put the missile units on 4 and the on the backs, of course, of my units. You see that I'm selecting these guys like this. The purpose is to have the chosen with shields on the side, in this case, and then the great weapons units just staggered on a line like that. That feels like a good way to approach. There's no enemy missiles or anything like that. I just want the flanks to be a little bit more sturdy. You can have the different formations for different reasons. Just as long as you have a reason, that's fine. Now, I'm going to use only one flank because there's not a lot of ground. Defeat the Plague Ridden to make him vulnerable. Oh, he's invulnerable? Oh, that's nice. I didn't remember this from my previous playthrough. Okay, I think I didn't reach the battle. Yeah, I don't remember this one. So that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So he's invulnerable. I have to deal with the sorcerers first. Yeah, that's nice. I'm going to send the cavalry units over there. It seems like they're covered by some Forsaken, which will die to the cavalry. So yeah, that's perfectly fine and perfectly justifiable. He doesn't have any anti-large because he's Nurgle, and Nurgle doesn't get anti-large. He gets high damage units, actually. It's still high damage units, though, so I gotta be careful. You know, considering things, it's still quite high damage, so yeah. So let's just move my troops very slowly, because Nurgle is always very slowly. Very slow, but they are advancing actually. But the Forsaken are still there defending the Plague Ridden. So my initial assumption was correct. Each Plague Ridden has a Forsaken unit for their defense, which I'm going to get rid of very fast. And this should work just fine. In terms of firing, I think I'm just going to hit anything that I can. And just tell them to attack. These units should be dying very soon. Especially with some shots here. Let's put Tamurkhan ahead. Yeah. I can use that, but I don't think it's going to be useful here. Let me just put this on the Lord there. Yeah, I'm going to spawn a unit over there. Summon a unit over there. The spear, let me go over there. Yeah, as you can see, he's not taking any damage. So I must withdraw here and prepare for when the Plague Ridden are destroyed. Let me use that ability over here. So that's a bombard ability that should do just enough damage. Trying to get the units from my flanks over there. That was a nice damage, actually. So I'm going to tell him to attack just so that he doesn't go in and attack my missile troops or something like that. I really need to get on to attack these unbreakable units. They're unbreakable too, so it's not like I can give that. Okay, let's start attacking over here. Let's get the Forsaken. There we go. It shouldn't cause too much trouble. Tamurkhan is going to attack that Lord. Yeah, the big problem is the pathfinding here around. And he's still invulnerable. Ooh. That's the problem. He alone can do a lot of damage and dish out a lot of damage. So that's careful. That's something that I gotta be careful with. Let me just put these units here and prepare for the damage volley. So that one is destroyed. This one is almost destroyed very soon. It's gonna take like 5 hits. I should have done this. And melee defense, yeah, let's reduce it. Can I? There we go. Reduce that melee defense. No, group 2, yeah, let's go. One plague ridden is dead, maybe a second one is dead. There we go, let's attack this Forsaken. At least I see that my Chaos Warriors of Nurgle are doing just fine. No one is dying, so that's cool. Only one unit half health. I assume that's the one fighting. Yeah, it's the one fighting the Great Unclean one. So I'm just gonna retreat it, I guess. And this one, they moved towards that. I think just a few shots from these guys should do it. I'm gonna move them instead of telling them to fire, to stop fire, just to see if I can circumvent that. Let's use a summoned unit there to keep them the guy busy. And now let's double check whether the plague ridden are destroyed. Almost destroyed. Let's give everyone there. Now he's vulnerable. Good. Let's shoot him down. Take him down. Take it down. Just no Nazgul overseeing us, please. I can even make him slower so that we can get... Oh, there's some reinforcements? Really? Okay, but this should be fairly easy, especially with these shots coming out. Yeah, look at that. He's already halfway health. That's cool. I can use those. Come on, hit him. If he cannot hit, maybe the spear. There we go. Where's the reinforcements? Oh! There's a ton of fly... Oh, I'm glad it does this, because there's a ton of flyers. They could have done some damage. Let me shoot that guy, because honestly, he's gonna cause some damage. Yeah, there we go. Let's take him down. I said I didn't want any Nazgul, but I also don't want any rot flies on our backs. So yeah, that was a decisive victory. That was nice. I get a lot of income, which is good to continue this. Maybe I can even create an army just based on the income that I'm gaining. So more favor. Yeah, it feels good. Oh, that's nice too. I'm gonna have to split those up. So devotion has been secured for Kais. That's nice. You can have some nice ancillaries, some raise standard, some bearers. Yeah, recruitment cost, that's nice. And I believe they should have some recruitment, not recruitment, some upkeep reduced. Yeah, there we go, the Leper Lord. What are you doing in Tamar? No, let's go over here. That's where I need you. There we go. And the preacher should be there, so that standard is going down. There we go. There we go, much better. Much better. So when you recruit some units, they will have a better skills. That's good. It's going to take a couple of turns. Maybe I can rush cycle cost? That's only to rush cycle cost. That's a shame. It should have been, you know, just rush cycle without the cost, you know? Just lower a cycle for one turn. But, okay. I guess I can handle that. So let's upgrade our defenses here on the Bastion. These likely will come in handy. And one more upgrade here in the Valari. That should be it. Now, we got devoted, so that's nice. We can get another Toad Dragon. That's cool. Is it? I'm doing the math. So I get 6, then I have 2. I'll need 2 for a Skin Wolf. Yeah, that we go. Yeah, and I get a Skin Wolf too. That Skin Wolf is going to go for this army over here. There we go. He's going to have the Skin Wolves and other units from that army. So instead of too many Forsaken and stuff, I'll just replace any losses with those and spawn, you know. And that's good because the Skin Wolves are again anti-large, so that complements my forces really well. Let's get the skills for Tamurkhan. Oh, the speed. Yes, definitely. I've been suffering that. And now self-preservation or relentless assault. Yeah, there we go. His skills are kind of better than the usual skills, so that's cool. Inspiring Inferno, why not? It's always good to have no problems with terror and fear. So yeah. Now, guys, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for the support of Tamurkhan campaign, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.